Hello, welcome. We're excited to introduce you to some ways that you can get involved on campus. This session is going to represent multiple offices. We're going to start off with campus life. So, hi, I'm Sarah. Sarah Edmondson. I'm the Associate Director for Student Involvement. I use she, her pronouns. I oversee kind of all of our student groups and student government on campus. And I'm joined by my colleague, Karen Smith, who's the Associate Director for Programming and Campus Vibrancy. She'll introduce herself shortly, but she's going to also talk about different events that happen on campus, student employment, and different ways to get involved through campus life. We've also got a few other offices they'll be jumping on after us, but we'll go ahead and dive into a little bit of an overview on campus life and different ways to get involved through our office. So campus life, our mission is to empower students to discover and define themselves and their communities through advising, programs, and resources for a vibrant and active campus environment. In other words, we are the gateway to various campus activities and experiences. We want students to get involved, to find their communities, and leave their bare print. One of the ways that you can do that is joining a student group. We have over 400 recognized student groups on campus, and while they represent many, many different interests, if you feel like you don't find the thing that is right for you, you can always start a new group as well. Roughly 80% of our students are involved in at least one student group, with over 60% being involved in multiple. So many different ways to explore connecting with your interests, getting involved, and finding your people and meeting folks that maybe even come from different backgrounds. Student Union, which is our undergraduate student government, allocates millions of dollars to our student groups every year for programming and events and travel and all of the different things that our student groups are doing. Last year, we registered over 11,000 events just for student groups that are happening on and off campus. So there is a lot going on all the time.
All right. Hello, I'm Karen Smith. Like Sarah said, I use she, her pronouns, and I serve as the Associate Director for Programming and Campus Vibrancy and Campus Life. And here in Campus Life, we have over 70 plus programs that we host or co-host or co-sponsor with other departments on campus. And all we are just dedicated to executing the majority of large-scale events, programs, and workshops that include but are not limited to campus traditions, sorority fraternity life recruitment, service and immersive experiences, events in the city of St. Louis, leadership development opportunities, and programs during our fall orientation, weeks of welcome, finals weeks, and parent and family weekend, which is why you're here. The other things that I wanted to mention is we do have a newer program that we facilitate year over year called the In the Loop. And that really is all about getting students out into the city of St. Louis to experience the city and hopefully find their place within the community, versus socially with food, with games and sports and things like that. But also if they want to stay over the summer, do an internship and find themselves here permanently after they graduate. So we had about 1,700 students last year that participated in all of our off-campus events. And then overall, we have about 7,000 students that attend the variety of our programs offered each year. So the next slide is just a very big snapshot of all of the different ways that students could be involved socially with us. So we have the Healthy Excellence Hike, which is a partnership with our recreation department. We have Popcorn Wednesday that happens in the Danforth University Center every Wednesday from 4 to 5. You have Dunkin' Donuts, which happens right outside. And if you know, you know, it is the place to be every first Friday of the month. And then we also have niche programs such as our farmers market that we host every spring for free fruits and vegetables for all of our students to enjoy.
So we also, within Campus Life, have an area of leadership programs that is partnered with the Bauer Leaders Academy. And our leadership programs at WashU provide students with an opportunity to develop as student leaders, explore their potential, and gain leadership skills that will transcend their WashU experience. Really, we want all of our students to engage with Clifton Strengths, which is those characteristics of the specific strengths that each individual person has that they can capitalize on in their leadership journey. And we believe that leadership doesn't always have to mean that you hold a specific position or role, but also empowering students to be leaders across all different areas of their lives. The students that have engaged with our leadership programs are 11% more likely to remain at the university. They are more productive in their class assignments and more engaged in their classes. And we really believe in that integration of leadership both inside and outside of the classroom. One of the programs available through our leadership programs area is a leadership development badge, which is participating in several experiences and guided reflection activities across the course of a couple of semesters. And altogether, they can work towards achieving this badge, which they can put on their LinkedIn, they can talk about on their resume, and it's just indicating to a potential employer or different areas where they might be trying to get involved with leadership or an internship or something like that, that they have really engaged in the work to develop their own leadership potential. So another area of leadership development that we have on our campus is our sorority and fraternity life experience. So we have 25 active chapters that represent 4 different councils. So the Women's Panhellenic Association, the Interfraternity Council, the Multicultural Greek Council, and our National Panhellenic Council. I think I got that right. Sorry, I always mess up the names of the councils, but so we have chapters across all of those different councils, and about 18% of our student body is affiliated with our sorority and fraternity community. The philanthropic impact of our chapters has been over $40,000. We're very proud of that. They are heavily engaged in service, as you can see, our service hours in that philanthropic piece, but also just finding their community and building leadership within their own chapters. Our SFL, our sorority fraternity life community GPA, average GPA is 3.7 across all members. And I think that's actually higher than the average student GPA across the university. So we just see a lot of success both inside and outside of the classroom for our students who choose to affiliate with the sorority and fraternity community. Through various leadership opportunities on campus, we also want to recognize those leadership opportunities. And there's there's several different ways we do that across the year, but 2 big ones we like to highlight are Excellence in Leadership Awards. So this is for pretty much all students can be recommended for these or nominate themselves as well. And also our student group commendation program that is really calling out our student groups and the leadership that we see in those recognized student groups.
One area we cannot forget to talk about is our campus job opportunities. So Campus Life does offer a number of campus employment opportunities, both for our undergraduate student population as well as our graduate students. So we are very proud of the work that all of them have done, and there are various different interest and functional areas that they can apply for. So for example, we have our program assistants that typically plan and execute or implement or ideate new and fun social events for people to come and get connected, cultivate a sense of belonging, and really just have a lot of fun throughout the year. We have our marketing assistants. So these are the behind the scenes for us that help us with our social media account, creating all of our flyers and all of our big media campaigns. And they're the ones that took these amazing pictures that you have seen throughout this PowerPoint. So really shout out to our marketing team, our graphic designers, our photographers, and our social media manager. We also have fraternity house managers, which is a partnership with our colleagues in residential life that are also on the call. So our fraternity house managers obviously live in the fraternities and really help with some of the operational as well as the community building within the house over the course of the year. We have our student involvement assistants that really help with that 400 plus student organizations that are registered and very active on our campus, really making sure that they feel supported through the contact process, planning events, as well as just highlighting some of their great work that they've done over the year. And lastly, we have a variety of graduate assistants from sorority fraternity life and our student involvement team that really do help us to do a little bit of the day-to-day mechanics of making sure everything runs very smoothly in Campus Life. And then we do have applications every October and March. So if you have a current student here who is looking to find some student employment, they could either come to our office or they can go to Handshake, which a lot of students are familiar with through the Center for the Center for Career Engagement office, and they can help them get connected as well. Another area we want to highlight is our Danforth University Center. So campus life is at the heart of the campus at the Danforth University Center, which we affectionately call the Duck. So these are four signature programs within the Duck that campus life oversees. So Tuesday tea, it is just either iced tea or a variety of hot tea that we offer every Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month from 3 to 5. We also have Popcorn Wednesday that we talked about that actually takes place in the fun room. And people just grab some popcorn and get to know each other and chat and have fun and do some of the other activities. Fun Friday is actually a really fun one. So we just have a QR code around the whole entire facility, and students can submit their songs of the day or songs that kind of they need to kind of give them a boost throughout the week. And we run those throughout the speakers of the Duck, and it is a really fun time. And then Duck and Donuts, as you can see there by that photo, there is one of our Ducks of the month. And then we do use a local donut shop where we get our donuts distributed every third Friday of the month. And lastly, this is a really important slide. There are multiple ways that students or, parents and families can connect with us. So you can follow us on our social media, which is the most common way that people learn about some of the happenings of campus life. You can also download an app called the Modern Campus Involve app, and that's where you'll see all the registered student organizations, some of the departments, and all of the events that they're hosting throughout the year. You are more than welcome to sign up for our Campus Life newsletter. We do have current students as well as alumni, parents, and families that look at that every single week. It comes out every Monday at 10 a.m. and we have lots of different things. And the beauty of this newsletter, it is not just Campus Life happenings, it is also all the other departments at the university. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested. And then we love visitors, so please come visit us. It's in the Duck, Suite 160. We say we're right by the grand staircase. You could not miss the grand staircase in the Duck. And we're open from 8:30 to 5. There is our office phone number. If you want to shoot us a quick email, we also are always on our email. It is just campuslife@wusu.edu. We want to thank you for your time, and we want to pass it off to our beautiful colleagues.
Thanks, Karen and Sarah. We really appreciate you. It was great to hear a little bit more about campus life, and I hope if your student is wondering what else they can do, let me tell you, WashU has a lot of other things as well. Campus Life's got you covered, but I'm here from the Office of Residential Life to talk to you a little bit about some of our experiences in the residence halls. My name is Dominique Crosby, and I am the Associate Director for Residential Education. So I worry about what your students doing when they're at home, what their experience might be like once they come back from classes and want to unwind. And while we want them to unwind, we also still want them to get involved. So we offer a couple of different leadership opportunities right in their residence hall. If they might be a little bit nervous, we have something close to home for them. Since all of our students live on campus in their first year, we know that their residential community really becomes important to them and is really important to their experience. It's where they're going to meet their friends, build relationships, and hopefully start to feel like it's their home. And so we know that it's probably really easy to get involved there, and so we provide a couple of different opportunities. The main way for an incoming student, a first year student to get involved is through something that we call community council. Each of our residential communities, which is made up of their different buildings grouped up together, has a community council. It's a group of students who live in that community and they work together to shape what that community feels like. So they plan events for students like social events and study breaks. They also share ideas and feedback. So while we hope that their experience is perfect, we know that students have some ideas about what can make it even better. And the folks on Community Council let us know what would make their experience better than what it is now, or what students need to have a better experience living on campus. They help create a welcoming environment for the students who live there. Again, they understand what it's like to live in this community, probably better than all of us. And so we want some students to tell us exactly what they can have happening in their communities. The most important thing about Community Council is that any student can join it. You don't need any experience. You don't need prior skills. Everyone. You just come, you join, you show up, you get involved, and you decide what's happening in your community. It's very easy, low stakes for an incoming student. And so we really, really, really encourage students to get involved. And we can have as many community council members as possible. So there's no cap. That's also the great thing about it. If there's 100 people who are interested, then this community council will have 100 people planning things for their community. So I want to get someone else to tell you a little bit more about this community who works with them most often, and that's Mac Shield. So Mac is our coordinator for residential engagement, and they work closely with our students across campus to support student leadership and involvement in residential life.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mac. As Dr. Crosby shared, Community Council is really the starting point for getting involved. And for many of you, it will probably be one of the first things you see on campus, and a great way for you to take on more leadership responsibilities if that is something you are interested in. So when you arrive on move-in day, and during your first few weeks, you'll see flyers, posters, we'll be tabling. We're kind of everywhere on the South 40. And you can even hear from your RA about how to get involved in these community councils. And so that's really your invitation to show up and check it out, and see if it's something that you are interested in. And then community councils are connected through this larger student leadership organization that's called Congress of the South 40, which are students that I directly advise and work with every day. And so the South 40 is the residential area where most first-year students live. And the Congress of the South 40 helps support those community councils in all the different buildings. So if you're part of a community council, you would also be part of the Congress. And it helps connect those ideas between communities. Like when Dr. Crosby was talking about that feedback, the Congress really works to pull that all together and get a broader understanding of what people across all of those buildings want to see. And then they also get to create large-scale programming for all residents. So you'll see we put on festivals, we bring speakers to campus, we have movie nights, and there's always something going on with Congress of the South 40. And then also they serve as the representatives for everyone that lives on campus. So in many community councils, they're led by sophomore student leaders, which means you'll have the chance to connect with returning students who have been in your shoes before. And then people who have already navigated their first year that can help guide and support you and also make your community council experience as meaningful as it can be. And so while community council focuses on your building, the Congress can help bring those ideas together. So if you decide to get involved, your experience can look like a lot of different ways. You can help plan events, you can share feedback, you can work with other students in your RAs, you can think about ways to improve your community. You'll get experience budgeting, marketing, any part of the event planning process that are really valuable skills to take through your college experience. And then some students take on more responsibility over time. They may be the president or the vice president or go on to be Congress of the South 40 executive team members. But we have many students who show up, participate, and really appreciate their time as a general body member as well. So attending a meeting and seeing what it's like is the important first step. It's a lot about Congress of the South 40. That's not the only thing that we do in residential life in terms of student engagement. So if you want to continue learning more, we also have two other opportunities. One is called URSA's Nightlife, which plans late night substance-free programs on Friday and Saturday. They do every sort of program under the sun, craft nights, sports, movies, anything you could be interested in. They have a full schedule of events every weekend. And then we also have our Service and Recognition Honorary, which is known as the National Residence Hall Honorary, which works to recognize student leaders, and they also volunteer often in the community. Those are opportunities that you can explore later when you're on campus. But again, that community council is probably the first thing you're going to hear about when you arrive. To recap, getting involved in that community is one of the easiest ways to make friends, build connections, and really feel that sense of pride and belonging in your home here on campus. And you don't need to have everything figured out, but you can show up and we'll have a place for you. So we really encourage you to check out a meeting, bring a friend, and see where it leads you with your time on campus.
Thanks, Mac. Again, we have lots of different opportunities in residential life. Community councils is what we'll tell you about now, but once you get here, there's so many other things for students to get involved in. We're going to pass it over to Jordan Cooper, who's going to talk to us a little bit about some work that she does over in the Center for Diversity and Inclusion.
Thank you, Dr. Crosby, and thank you to my colleagues also in Campus Life for sharing some of the experiences available to all of your students as they come onto our campus. As mentioned previously, my name is Jordan Cooper. I currently serve as the director of an office called Cross Cultural Connections, which is housed within our university's Center for Diversity and Inclusion. Our center is a place whose mission is to foster belonging for all students. And together we really try to inspire students to build a positive sense of belonging here in our campus community. The CDI is both a center in name, but also an actual central space here on campus where students can find community, support, and programming around identity, culture, and overall belonging. And it's really designed so every student feels like they have a place here, not only academically, but also socially. So our center is the home of 4 individual offices. The one that I oversee is the office called Cross Cultural Connections, which focuses on cultural programming, heritage celebrations, and cross-cultural events. We also have the Office for International Student Engagement, which supports international students transition to campus, as well as here in the United States, through orientation programming, community building, and other campus engagement opportunities that allow both our international and domestic students to interact with each other and learn from one another. We also have the Office for Religious, Spiritual, and Ethical Life, which provides interfaith resources, spiritual support, and space for students of any or no religious background. They also do a lot of intentional programming to help students pause and kind of get grounded in a way that recenters themselves as they continue to navigate all of these wonderful experiences that are offered here on our campus. And then the 4th office that we have in the Center for Diversity and Inclusion is Spectrum, which focuses on the LGBTQIA+ community through events, education, and community collaboration. Again, all of those programs are also open to all students to really learn and engage with one another. Together, these offices create programs, events, and spaces where all students can explore their identities, learn about other folks, and also build really meaningful connections. Sometimes when you're first getting onto campus, you are looking to get involved with student organizations. And so we're another place here on campus where we can connect you with folks. Maybe we know someone has the same hometown as you or has the same cultural background as you, and you're looking to get connected to home, whatever home kind of means to you. We're more than happy to find ways to get you plugged in to some of those other opportunities that you also heard as well, because we do work very closely with our partners in both residential life and campus life. Some of the shared leadership opportunities that all of our offices offer include student programming assistant positions that we do have. So we are another office that does offer student employment opportunities. Through these various roles, students help design and actually implement programs and events. We really try to make it so that our students are the co-creators of the CDI experience. And so we try to give them a lot of skills in leadership, event planning, collaboration, as well as communication. So that is something that we all offer, and it's something that we hire for in at least the spring prior to when you all would be joining our community. But if you are looking for employment opportunities and we have vacancies, we are more than happy to also take second semester first year students as well. So be on the lookout for any postings that we might have within the Center for Diversity and Inclusion. Specifically within the Cross-Cultural Connections Office, I want to talk about what some of our programming has looked like in ways for you all to get connected and find one another. So we do have a book club, which students can join at any point during the academic year. That's a way for students to have a cohort-like experience. You can tell us that you want to be a part of this book club. We'll give you a free copy of the book, and then you just come in community once a month and kind of talk about the various themes for the book of the month. So that's one way that students can get involved in a more intimate setting. But we do also have larger scale programs that are also drop-in, such as our food truck festivals that we host for various Heritage and History Month. We also have partnered with the Missouri History Museum for a walking tour of neighborhoods such as Dutchtown to kind of explore German cultural history in St. Louis. We've done cross-cultural cooking classes off-site in the St. Louis community. We've done line dancing workshops. So really there are lots of different types of opportunities that you can get plugged into. And one of my favorite kind of experiences that I want to highlight for this academic year in particular is that we did have a first-year student who came into our office. He basically said, "Hey, I have some ideas for some things that I want to see on campus, but I don't know where to start." And there wasn't already a club or an organization that existed that kind of fit what he was looking for. So we were able to help him get started in actually designing those programs and co-hosting it with that student in our office. And so that looked like us having a Spam Musubi making workshop this semester, and we're also going to be doing a lei making workshop too. And so if you all have any ideas and you ever don't know where to go, again, we can connect you to things that are already here on campus or help you be the catalyst to kind of find and create some of those communities on campus as well. The next office that I want to be sure to highlight again is our Office for International Student Engagement. They do have an orientation program, which I mentioned previously, that happens prior to the overall orientation experience that happens for all of our first year students, to really help students get a little bit acclimated during their time here in the United States prior to the buzz of all of the excitement that comes with the traditional orientation experience. After your first year, if you are someone who is really passionate and wants to support international students or identify as an international student themselves, there are opportunities for you to come into and step into a leadership opportunity through our WU Guides program, which are essentially the orientation leaders specifically for the international student orientation experience. So there are ways that when you have a really meaningful experience that you can then kind of give back through that WU Guide program as well. The Office for International Student Engagement also does host an International Education Week, again, open for all of our students every academic year. They host a regular program called Chat GTP, which stands for Chat Global Treat Party, where students will come and try a treat or a snack from the country that's being featured during that current program and just learn a little bit more about that culture. Sometimes being able to interact with students who are actually from those countries, which is really exciting to kind of build connections and bridges. And they also host English conversation corners where students can kind of flex their muscles. Maybe you are taking a language course and you want a little bit of practice outside of the classroom. This is a way that students can both practice their English, but also students who are taking other languages can also come and converse with people who might be native speakers for those languages as well. Our next office that I want to highlight programming from is Spectrum, which again affirms students of all gender identities, and really is a place where education can happen and exchange can happen around supporting those communities. It provides spaces, programs, and workshops. They have done things like flower arranging workshops, weaving workshops. They've hosted open mic nights and poetry workshops. So there are a lot of different opportunities for you to get plugged in and learn. And they also collaborate with offices such as our department over in athletics, to make sure that we can also get our student athletes really plugged into some of our various communities over in the CDI and vice versa. Another leadership opportunity that comes out of one of our offices, specifically out of Spectrum, would be our Destination Q program, which is a leadership retreat that is hosted by Spectrum in the first couple of weeks of the academic year. And so that's something that you can come and you can be a part of. You can sign up for. It's totally free. It's only about a weekend to really just make sure that you're kind of getting plugged in and connected with community. But also we do rely on our returning students who have experiences on campus to really come and kind of foster that community for our incoming students. And so again, you can be a part of Destination Q, but then there's also going to be an opportunity in your years after that first year to really come and get plugged in as a leader of that experience. And then that fourth and final office that I want to make sure that I'm highlighting is our Office for Religious, Spiritual, and Ethical Life, which again brings together students of all religious, spiritual, or no spiritual or religious backgrounds at all. And they really, really focus on interfaith dialogue and understanding. They do have an Interfaith Fellows program, which is specifically designed for a cohort experience. If you're looking for that, where you say, hey, I want to talk with people who are explicitly of different faiths or who don't have faith at all as something that they are practicing. I want to be in consistent conversation, kind of digest books and readings and talk about things that are happening in the world and community. And so if that sounds of interest to you, then you might want to check out the Interfaith Fellows program that we have, which has been really kind of central and important to our community. And then also that office also hosts other types of interfaith experiences that aren't necessarily as big of a time commitment as a cohort experience, such as our interfaith iftar and our interfaith seder. So please feel free to kind of look out for any and all programmings that are coming through the Office of Religious and Spiritual Life. That kind of rounds out the Center for Diversity and Inclusion. Really, again, we are a place that centers connection, community, and really just highlighting places and spaces where each and every student can kind of see themselves in the campus community. So we really hope that you will engage with us, come to some of our programs. Similar to Campus Life, we do also have a newsletter. Ours comes out monthly. And what's really awesome about that newsletter is that once you opt in and sign up for that newsletter, you will once a month get a list of all of the upcoming programming and events that are happening across all of those 4 offices that I talked about today. So that's a really easy way to get the information to come to you. And then we also do have an Instagram, which is just WashU CDI. And that is another place where you can find information about all of our 4 offices and kind of get plugged into those individual Instagram pages, as well as another way of kind of figuring out what's going on in campus in any given day. So thank you all so much for kind of engaging with us today. As you've heard, we definitely have a lot of different types of experiences here on our campus. And we hope that you will reach out to all of us or our departments if you have any questions or you're looking to see if WashU offers something or you have a specific question about a club, an organization, or a leadership opportunity. We are really here to support you, and we hope that we can continue to be a system of support when you join us on our campus.